Hey guys, it's 21 Maxwell here, and welcome to episode 78 of the TNA TEW series. It's the second week of January. We're just another step closer towards our next pay-per-view. And today we're going to book this show in the tri-state region for a change. I kind of looked at it and thought it's got obviously the highest popularity. I felt if we can get a good show here, a hot crowd here, then hopefully that momentum can spill over to other territories and get that up a wee bit in their popularity. So we're booking it in the Peterson Events Centre, which is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're hoping for 13,500. It says there. I think it's the max we can get in this place is maybe 12,500, so it'll definitely be a sellout. So we're just hoping with the 4 pre-show segments and 14 segments that good ratings. Hopefully the main event will be solid and we can get a really good rating here and get to the next level and get to national. So let's kick on with the show and let's hopefully just have a good episode of TNA Impact Wrestling. So the first start match, bit of a squash match, but in a bout that had some solid in-ring action but non-existent crowd heat. Brian Cage defeated Noam Dar in 6:25 by pinfall with a total eclipse. Only a 47D, but say it was just meant to be a squash match to give Cage some momentum, because for some reason Noam Dar just doesn't click with the American audience. I think he's going to need a wee spell on a B show, proper get some popularity, and then we can push him. But apart from that, very few negatives, just inconsistency and low momentum and both guys holding back, but overall it done its job. Next up, in a bout that had some solid in-ring action but not much in the way of heat, the VIP list, that is of course Showtime and MVP, defeated DJZ and Paul Burchill in 8 minutes 30 when MVP defeated Paul Burchill by pinfall with a malicious intent. 85C-, DJZ off his game, Paul Burchill's monstering him, got 98, so that's good. Maybe look at a wee push for him. It's just a kind of put together tag team to put the VIP list over. No skill improvements there, but everything seems to be fine, apart from obviously DJZ, low morale, low momentum. Everything else pretty decent, and it's just the case of Paul Burchill being penalised for inconsistency and holding back, but everybody is. Third match, an extremely short match. Amazing Kong defeated Haruka Shida in 4:33 with an amazing bomb. Again, just to keep Awesome Kong relevant. She is a champion, but she's not getting on TV. It's a win for her. Surprisingly, a 61C, which is promising for the knockout, so I'm happy with that. And that hopefully, with her improving performance skills, is going to kick us on. It's a shame I can confirm we didn't get AJ Lee. She's rejected us, so hopefully, at least the impending arrival of Victoria Crawford, aka Alicia Fox, can take us to the next level. But it's a shame we didn't get AJ, so it's going to be Amazing Kong and Eva Les at the moment. That will hopefully be the cornerstone of our knockouts division. And a final pre-show match, in a match that's some good action but not much in the way of heat. EC3 defeated Rhino in 6:55 with a headlock driver. Solid 66C+, that sounds pretty decent considering Rhino's lower mid-card. He debuted his Man Beast gimmick. Rhino's improving his performance skills, so I'll probably bring these two back up to the main roster when there's proper time and there's space for them. And overall, I'm pretty happy with that. So that's your pre-show. Let's get kicking on straight away with this week's Impact Wrestling. So we start off with a great match, straight in my next division title match. The match had some good action, but not much in the way of heat. Ricochet defeated Rob Van Dam and Fergal Devitt in 10:29. When he defeated Fergal Devitt by pinfall with a chocolate rain. He makes his third defence of his X Division Championship, and that gets a solid 73B-. So it's again a good opening match, just to get the crowd high, and it's again getting him some momentum and kicking on there. No skill improvements, which is a wee bit disappointing. And the dirt sheet just says the RVD's soft drugs habit, declining physical ability, and everybody just holding back because it wasn't on pay-per-view. But decent match, and again it's just kind of using Devitt to get some good matches and get some decent ratings. Next up, Lance White has arrived for his debut. Surprising the announcers, he's debuting an underground fighter gimmick. It was really hard to find a proper gimmick for him, but an 82 rating's pretty decent, and hopefully he can kick on with that. And that got a 62C, so we'll need to hopefully get him some momentum. In an extremely short match, Ivelisse Velez defeats Velvet Sky in 4:43 by pinfall. An awkward bout again, but it's putting her over. That's the main thing, just getting her some momentum. No skill improvements. Again, just holding back, low morale, everything for Velvet Sky. We're just basically jobbing her out now. Next up, the cameras hurried backstage to the parking lot where a brutal attack by Austin Aries On Hawkins, it's caught on film. Austin Aries was superb. The central storyline continues. 71C+, I'm happy with that. It obviously puts Austin Aries in a bit of momentum here, showing that he really wants this title, and he's going to do anything to Hawkins to make sure he gets it. It's just a cold crowd and a low momentum, but that'll work. We'll work in that, we'll get Austin Aries over. Good bit of momentum, and hopefully he can have a decent run at the Central Championship. Next up, Lance Hoyt makes his debut in an extremely short match. Lance Hoyt defeated Redman in 5:06 with a boot from hell. 56C-. It serves its purpose. Lance Hoyt goes over. Easy opponent to start with, but it also leads to hopefully the beginning of a big storyline I've got planned for Redman as he continues to lose matches, and he's improving his performance skills, so not all negative with that. Just need to get his morale, his momentum up, but that'll happen again over time. And the match had some good action, but not much in the way of heat. James Storm defeated Jacob Goodnight in 9:06 by pinfall. Again, jobbing Goodnight out because of his age, and a 66C+ there, decent match. And again, does his job, and we're just going to keep jobbing Goodnight out before we eventually wish him luck in his future endeavours. In a match that had some good action and average heat, Team 3D defeated the Model Citizens in 9:54 when Billy Ray defeated Drew Galloway with a 3D. 69C+ between these two guys. These are just a match to put the champions over. They hadn't won in a while, so put them over, a team that's got high momentum, so they can kind of hopefully get some of that. And it continues the New York Hollywood storyline, which is good. Any worker improvements? None. And again, it'll just be the negatives, everybody holding back in the declining physical ability. Team 3D, but that's what they're here for. They're here to put stars over. At the same time, we need to keep them at least a wee bit over, so they can eventually long term put other folk over. So, decent, not great, but 69C+, hopefully put us in a position where the main event can really draw here. The match is over and Team 3D are celebrating. Morrison and Joey Ryan come down and jump them from behind, beating them down. Again, continues that storyline. 75B-, which is good considering how bad the angle was in last week's show. So happy with that. That gets a bit more heat on Morrison and Joey Ryan. And hopefully they can kick on from here. Again, with the rematch from last week, just because they keep getting good matches together, we're just going to continue to put Samoa Joe over. And about that featured great action and average heat, Samoa Joe defeats Mr. Anderson in 8:03 by pinfall. 74B-, and that's with Joe up his game, so these two continue to deliver. Joe's improving performance skills, Anderson's improving flying skills, but will Mr. Anderson ever get the win over Samoa Joe? It remains to be seen. Next up, we have a bout that featured great action and average heat. Chris Hero defeating Eddie Edwards in 7:50 with a death blow. Solid 77B again, just keeping Chris Hero over. We can't have him always interacting with Jericho because Jericho has only a certain amount of dates in his contract. But that's just a match to put him over. You know it was going to be a good match between those two. I'm happy with that. Can't believe we've got a burnt out crowd. That's quite ridiculous, but we'll go with that. And then after it, Chris Hero comes up to the podium for an interview. He says that he'll keep chasing Chris Jericho. He's beaten you once, he's going to beat you again. He's going to show at the end of the day he's the best in the world, not Chris Jericho. And he's got a solid 83B segment for that, so Hero again delivering. Next up, CM Punk's in the ring talking about how good he is. Usual CM Punk promo for the cheap rating. 100A+, perfect. Nice promo as he gets ready for the main event. We then have a poor angle, Matt Striker backstage with Adam Cole and Seth Rollins, two guys that can't really talk. Only a 67C+, which is disappointing. Matt Striker was underwhelming. The performance of Adam Cole was good. It was just really talk for everybody else, but it's one of the things. Next up, the main event, and about that featured great action and a good crowd. CM Punk and Bobby Lashley defeated Adam Cole and Seth Rollins in 17:31 when Bobby Lashley defeated Seth Rollins with a spear. Cole and Seth Rollins don't click as a team as to be expected. It really just was to put the two main event storylines together. The Battle of Honor storyline continues, so that's good. That's going to keep momentum up there if we ever get back to Punk and Cole, which I hope to do one day. We'll see what happens though. And a solid 84B+. Fairly happy with that. Any more segments? Nope, that was the end of the show. It's a solid 84B+ there, and that increased our popularity in 17 regions. Basically, doing everything that we wanted to accomplish. So it's one thing I did eventually learn from the developer diary, was just reading Fog of War, knowing that it's all their main segments that really count. So you can have as poor a show to start with, as long as you're putting workers over and building them up popularity wise and getting them over, then down the line they're going to help that main event. But since it's a bit unrealistic and we've got WWE as a company as an alliance that'll loan us wrestlers, we may as well use them just to get decent ratings. Why Jericho's here, Rollins is here, and we're using Devitt to elevate people as well. But it says the feedback from the viewers has been excellent, and it seems like we really struck gold with this show, so that's fantastic. While I'm here, Drew Gulak, as you know, is signed. We were looking at him, he's in, that's definitely happened. And he is going to be renamed and put together as Soldier Ant, just to go as a face in the X Division. Give him his mask and all that, because he's not can't really talk, so we'll put him in that kind of get up. Another one is that Mia Yim's in as well, and she'll be debuting pretty shortly when her contract's up. I think it's another couple of days before we get her. But 2 signings, I'm excited. They two and Alicia Fox being in. Momentum's up to 82, so we're continuing on a high run in momentum. Just have to get to national. Email just says Joey Ryan to the grilling schedule, and we drew at 8.92, so pretty much similar to last week, and a very high rating that TNA will never ever 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 see in their life. But that's what the game gives us, so we'll take it. Again, looking at size, Mid-Atlantic up to 69, that's good. New England up at 69. Great Lakes went to 63, so we might just keep doing shows in the Tri-State then, and working getting Great Lakes up. And then that'll give us 7, because that looks like if we keep doing shows it'll go up, pretty quickly. And then just worry about either Midwest or Northwest. They're the two that are difficult, but if we get one of them up, you never know. That's the problem, we've got so many that are close, Midwest is 2 away from where we want to be, same with Northwest. Puerto Rico and Great Lakes are only 3 points of popularity, or importance, what we need, so, be interesting to see how it goes down. Well, that's it for this episode, guys. Our next pay-per-view, as it says, Genesis, which will be in 2 weeks' time. I'll slowly get a card put together for that, and hopefully we can have a good show there. I'm going to change that. It's not going to be Battle of Britain after how bad that was last year, but we'll figure out something and we'll see what happens down the line. So cheers for tuning in, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you get any comments, please leave them in the comments section. If you haven't already, guys, hit that sub button. I'll give you that free email or whatever to let you know when the next video is out. Until next time, this is 21 Maxwell, and I'll speak to you all real soon. Bye bye.